Alright, so what we're going to go over next is A71 with a guaranteed death benefit. And this is really good for seniors or even non-seniors. When they have a lot of coverage already, you sit down with a policy owner, or even if it's a referral or a hard card and they already have a ton of coverage in place and they already have something in place for cancer, and or they've had cancer in the past, so they don't qualify for cancer. So the way that my A71 pitch goes, it's more directed towards seniors, just because, you know, I seen the impact that not having something like this can have on somebody who doesn't have the proper coverage in place. So when I'm doing A71 with a guaranteed death benefit, I talk about my grandmother, and I'm going to go into explaining what I say. So, you know, I'm sitting down with Joe and Mary, and they already have a lot of coverage. So, you know, Joe, Mary, you guys have done a pretty good job with setting up the coverage that you guys have. You know, you have your funeral taken care of, you have your mortgage protected. My main concern for you, though, is, you know, when something happens. Because the older we get, the longer that it takes for us to recover when something happens. You know, my grandma, she was actually in a car accident, not this past January, but the January before. And she was hit pretty hard. They T-boned her and her sister both ended up in the hospital. Both of my grandma's arms were broken, and then her leg was also almost completely cut off. They told us that there was a 90% chance that she was not going to make it through the surgery, and a 99% chance that she would lose her leg, but they were going to try anyways. So they did the surgery, and my grandmother survived, and, you know, they were even able to save her leg, which is a miracle. You know, my grandma's very active, so that's probably why she was able to recover a little bit faster and better than others. You know, the only thing is she does have to wear a boot now for the rest of her life. And she was in the hospital for an entire month from that accident, and then she had to go to rehab for 2 months after that. So she was hospitalized for a total of 3 months. And she thought she had everything taken care of, because she had Medicare A, B, F. Also, my grandfather worked for the railroad, so she had a supplement through the railroad that she thought she was covered by as well. Well, come to find out, she gets out of the hospital and the bills, they start coming. Last time I was over there, she showed me a stack like this. She told me she had over $20,000 in unpaid medical bills. Medicare didn't cover, and neither did her secondary insurance. The reason being, those places will only cover you for a certain amount of time. When we're seniors, a $20,000 bill for a senior with a fixed income is a lot of money for you guys to come up with. So that's why the company has set up our hospitalization plan for you. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to provide you with a daily benefit each day that you're in the hospital. So if you go into the ER, just for walking into the ER, for any type of accident, injury, a bump, a bruise, a bee sting, anything like that, they're going to cut you a check, the company, for $150 per ER visit. Now, let's say you were going to be in there overnight. They're going to pay you $300 for every night that you're in the hospital, and then $600 for every night that you're in the ICU. Now, the whole time I'm writing this out for them. So the ICU benefit, guys, is good for 14 days per incident. Now, after the 14 days, it does revert to the 300, and that's good for 365 days per incident. So you could be in the hospital for an entire year and get out and go in for something else, and you have another year. And, you know, if you think about it, that's $300 per night. If you're in the hospital for a month, that's $9,000 in your pocket. This is going to help with all of the co-pays and the deductibles, and, you know, if they're working, lost wages. Now, the thing is, guys, you will probably use this at some point. Now, there is a chance that you may never use this. So what the company always wants to do is set up a guaranteed death benefit for you, so that way, no matter what, the money that you put into this is eventually going to go back to the family where it rightfully belongs. Now, for this policy, it would be a $15,000 guaranteed death benefit for each of you. what you want to do is play with the whole life to make it an amount to where this one I always do like $3 a day for each of them. So that'd be $90 a month a piece. So that's $180 a month check. I always break it down for them though on each. So I'm going to be like, guys, this is about $3 a day for each of you. You know, $90 a month each. And then, so this would be, you know, the gold option, the top of the line. And then I would do the silver option, which is just a double A71. And that would be $100 per ER visit, $200 per night, and then $400 for the ICU. And then what's nice about this is you can just, you can do like $10,000 for the guaranteed death benefit. And like I said, you want to play with the numbers, so that way this one's about $2 a day for each of them. So you're walking out of there, $120 check. It's about $60 a month for each. And then, that was gold, silver, and then bronze would be the single A71, which would be $50 per ER visit, $100 per night, and then $200 for every night that you're in the ICU. And then let's just say this one would have like a $7,500 guaranteed death benefit for each of them. Now the way the guaranteed death benefit pays out, guys, it's graded, so no matter what, if you die tomorrow, 25% of that is going to pay out. If you die within the next year, 50%, the year after that, 75%, and then the year after that, 100% of the guaranteed death benefit will pay out. That way, no matter what, you're always going to get more out of the policy than what you put into it. Now, do you guys have any questions about how any of this works? No? Okay, so the thing is, you do have to qualify for this, but if you were to qualify, which option would make the most sense? And then, you know, let them pick an option. If they're like, they're not really sure, so this one over here would be $1 a day for each, so it'd be $30 a month. So this is a $60 check, no matter what. And then, you know, they choose an option, so, you know, option 2 would probably make the most sense. And I always like to recommend, like, most people go with this or this to get their foot in the door. You can always increase it later, you know. So once they pick an option, okay, great, let me see if I can get you qualified for that. You qualify them with all of the health questions, and if they do qualify, then you move into the Q&R with getting the draft date and closing up the deal. And that's how I structure my deal for an A71 with a guaranteed death benefit. You can come up with your own story. You can use mine. There are tons of stories out there, but I always want to make it real for them because this stuff is real and this stuff happens and this stuff helps a lot of people. So that's all I got for you guys today, and I'll see you next time.